Most people think that saving money means earning more or cutting expenses. But in America too, many people save money in a much quieter way. It all starts inside their homes. Many American homes are extremely organized, and that organization does something very powerful. It naturally stops waste, prevents duplicate purchases, and makes people much more intentional about what they buy. And the surprising part is that these small habits can quietly save thousands of dollars over time. Today I want to show you 5 simple ways organized American homes help people save more money. Everything has a specific place. One thing that stands out in many organized American homes is that almost everything has a specific place. It sounds very simple, but this small habit can save a surprising amount of money over time. In many American homes, items keep moving around constantly. TV remotes get lost in sofa cushions. Chargers disappear. Keys are left anywhere. Mail piles up on the counter. When things don't have a clear place, they get lost easily. And when people can't find something, the most common reaction is to buy another one with just one click on Amazon. This is where organized American homes work differently. Many households follow a very clear principle. If you own something, it should have a specific spot where it goes back after you use it. Kitchen tools stay in the same drawer. Bills and documents go in labeled folders. Chargers are kept in a specific container. Even everyday items like keys, wallets, and bags have a basket or hook near the door. This system removes a huge amount of friction from daily life. Instead of wasting time searching for things, people know exactly where to look. That means less frustration and fewer impulse purchases, especially those late-night Amazon purchases. Just think how often Americans accidentally buy duplicates. Another phone charger, another USB cable, another pack of batteries, another pair of scissors. Individually, these purchases feel small, but over time, they add up to a lot of wasted money. When everything has its place, those duplicates almost disappear. There's also a psychological effect that comes with this level of organization. When you clearly see what you already own, it becomes much harder to justify buying more. Clutter often hides how much stuff people actually have, but organized homes make your belongings visible and easy to track. For example, many American homes use simple storage boxes like Sterilite or IKEA bins, drawer dividers, and labeled compartments. These tools are not expensive, but they create structure. When you open a drawer and see every item neatly arranged, it becomes obvious whether you actually need something new. This awareness naturally reduces unnecessary spending. Another interesting habit is the mudroom or entryway closet. In many American homes, this is where shoes, jackets, bags, and outdoor items are stored. Because everything has its own spot, people rarely end up buying extra umbrellas or gloves. It's a small example, but it shows how organization influences spending. When you step back and look at the bigger picture, this habit is less about being tidy and more about being intentional. Organized homes make people more aware of what they own, where it is, and whether they actually need more. And that awareness protects people from one of the biggest money traps of modern life, buying things you already have. Storage designed for small spaces. One big reason American homes are organized is that space is limited in many cities. In cities like New York, San Francisco, Boston, apartments are very small. Not everyone has big living rooms, walk-in closets, and extra storage rooms. Instead, people design their homes carefully to make the most of every square foot. And this limitation creates a very powerful financial habit. When space is limited, people naturally become more thoughtful about what they bring into their homes. Every object needs to justify the space it takes up. If something is rarely used, bulky, or unnecessary, it quickly becomes obvious that it doesn't belong. This mindset quietly reduces a lot of unnecessary spending. In many American homes, storage is designed intelligently. You'll find floating shelves on walls, under-bed storage bins, and organizers that hang behind doors. Garages have pegboards on the walls where tools are hung. Pantries have clear glass jars and labeled baskets. These systems allow small homes to stay functional without being cluttered. But the real financial benefit comes from the limits. When your storage space is limited, you cannot endlessly accumulate things. Where would you put them? So before buying something new, many Americans naturally ask themselves a practical question. Where will this go? If the answer is unclear, the purchase often doesn't happen. This small pause before buying is incredibly powerful. It turns impulse shopping into a more thoughtful decision. People don't buy things just because they are on sale, but think about whether the item actually fits into their home and their lifestyle. Over time, this habit keeps spending under control. Another interesting effect of small space living is that people often prioritize multifunctional items. A sofa that turns into a bed, sleeper sofa, folding tables, stackable storage bins. These are very common in America. These choices reduce the number of objects in the home, which also reduces overall spending. For example, a small dining table can fold against the wall and turn into a work desk. A storage ottoman can hold blankets and pillows inside. Even simple household tools are often designed to save space. The result is a home that feels efficient rather than crowded. The beauty of this approach is that it doesn't feel like extreme frugality. People don't constantly tell themselves, I can't buy this. Instead, the home itself creates natural boundaries. Limited space forces thoughtful decisions, and over time, these decisions help people avoid one of the most common financial problems of modern life, filling their homes with things they rarely use. Third method, seasonal rotation. One habit that plays a big role in keeping many organized American homes tidy is seasonal rotation. Instead of keeping everything accessible all year round. Many households rotate items according to the season. This helps maintain order and prevents homes from becoming cluttered over time. In practice, this means that items like clothing, bedding, and certain household goods are stored away when not needed. During warmer months, heavy winter coats, thick blankets, and thermal clothing are carefully folded and placed in plastic bins or bags, often on the top shelf of the closet or under the bed. When winter comes again, those items are brought back out, while lighter summer items, like shorts, t-shirts, are stored away in their place. This simple system keeps closets and storage spaces manageable. When you open a wardrobe and only see clothes that are appropriate for the current season, it becomes much easier to see what you actually own. Nothing gets buried in the back of the closet for years, and nothing disappears under piles of unused items. That clarity has a very real financial benefit. In America, a lot of unnecessary spending happens simply because people forget what they already own. When closets are overfilled with clothes from every season, it becomes hard to keep track of everything. Someone might buy another sweater, especially on a Black Friday sale, because they forgot about the 3 sweaters hidden behind summer clothes. Or they might buy another blanket because they can't easily find the ones they already own. Seasonal rotation removes that confusion by creating a natural cycle of rediscovery. Each time the seasons change and items are brought back out of storage, people are reminded of what they already own. Instead of feeling the need to buy something new, for example, another winter jacket from Target, they often realize they have exactly what they need. There is also a deeper mindset behind this habit. When people carefully store items for future use, they tend to treat those belongings with more care. Clothes are cleaned and dried before being stored, blankets are folded properly, and items are placed in vacuum bags to save space. This process reinforces the idea that possessions are meant to last for many years, rather than being replaced frequently. Another benefit of seasonal rotation is that homes feel more spacious and calm when only relevant items are visible. Rooms feel lighter, easier to manage. A clutter-free environment often reduces the urge to buy new things just to improve the appearance of a space. Over time, this rhythm of storing, rotating, and rediscovering items creates a natural balance inside the home. Instead of constantly accumulating new possessions, which is a common problem in America, people learn to make better use of the things they already have, which quietly prevents a great deal of unnecessary spending.
Minimal surfaces reduce impulse buying. Another noticeable feature in many organized American homes is the intentional use of minimal surfaces. Tables, kitchen counters, and shelves are generally kept clear, with only a few carefully chosen items placed on them, like a lamp, a book, or a small plant. While this approach contributes to the calm and clean appearance of the home, it also plays a surprisingly important role in controlling everyday spending. In many American homes, surfaces gradually become storage spaces. Coffee table might start with 1 or 2 magazines, but over time it collects remotes, phone chargers, snack bags, and old bills. Kitchen counters slowly fill with appliances that are rarely used. Air fryer, a bread machine, a coffee maker. Shelves become crowded with items that were bought on impulse, like decorative figurines or unnecessary kitchen gadgets. When surfaces are intentionally kept minimal, however, the relationship people have with their belongings begins to change. Instead of automatically filling every empty space, people become more selective about what deserves to be visible in their home. A shelf with only 1 or 2 items on it forces a different kind of decision-making. If someone considers buying a new decorative or household item, for example from Home Goods or Marshalls, they immediately have to think about where that item will go. If the surfaces in the home are already intentionally simple, placing a new object there becomes a deliberate choice rather than an automatic habit. This pause creates a natural filter for impulse purchases. Minimal surfaces also improve visibility inside the home. When there are fewer items competing for attention, the objects that remain become easier to notice and appreciate. People can clearly see the lamp they use every evening, the piece of art they truly like, or the piece of furniture that serves an important purpose. That clarity helps people recognize the value of what they already have. In cluttered environments, it's easy to overlook possessions and feel as though something is missing from the home. This feeling often encourages people to buy additional items in the hope of improving the space, like another candle, another frame, another blanket. However, when a room is intentionally simple and balanced, it already feels complete. The absence of clutter removes the sense that something needs to be added. Over time, this approach changes how people think about buying new things for their homes. Instead of reacting to empty space with more purchases, they begin to see space itself as valuable. A clean coffee table or an uncluttered shelf becomes part of the home's design rather than an invitation to accumulate more objects. That shift in mindset quietly reduces unnecessary spending. When every visible item must earn its place, fewer objects enter the home, and the purchases that do happen tend to be more thoughtful and intentional. Regular decluttering prevents waste. Another habit that helps many organized American homes stay organized is regular decluttering. Instead of letting possessions slowly pile up over the years, people go through their belongings regularly, often every few months, and remove items that are no longer useful or necessary. This process keeps homes from becoming crowded and helps maintain a clear understanding of what is actually owned. Closets, drawers, garages, and storage spaces are reviewed regularly. It becomes much easier to see which items are used often and which ones have been sitting untouched for months or even years. That awareness naturally changes spending habits.
habits. When people are reminded of how many things they already have, they become less likely to buy new things without thinking carefully. Decluttering highlights past purchases, especially those made during Black Friday or Prime Day, were never used, which encourages more thoughtful decisions in the future. Another important part of this habit is that many items are not simply thrown in the trash. Donating is very common in America. Clothes, toys, books, and household goods are often given to Goodwill, the Salvation Army, or local charities. This approach reduces waste while also preventing homes from becoming overloaded with unused possessions. Over time, regularly decluttering keeps spending under control because people become much more intentional about what they choose to bring into their homes. When you look closely, the organization inside many organized American homes is not just about keeping things tidy. It quietly shapes how people spend money. When everything has its place, when storage is limited, and when homes are regularly decluttered, people become much more aware of what they own. This awareness naturally prevents duplicate purchases, reduces impulse buying, especially those happen during online shopping, and encourages people to use what they already have. The result is a home that feels calm, efficient, and surprisingly affordable to maintain. And the interesting part is that none of these habits require complicated systems or extreme frugality. They're simple daily practices that slowly shape better financial behavior. Sometimes saving money doesn't start with a budget or an investment strategy. Sometimes it simply starts with an organized home.